syncopated.com. Thanks for tuning in, and this is going to be a 1-hour stretch and strengthening healthy body movement for all of us that are kind of stuck at home right now, especially for those Lindy hoppers and dancers out there. I'd love to invite you all to check out syncopatedcity.com. It is the website with online lessons. It's a whole online platform and school that Michael Jagger and myself have had for about the past 5 years now. And as we are in the midst of this coronavirus epidemic, we are doing our best to provide fun, positive, inspiring content to help everybody that's at home right now. So, without further ado, I am going to call my buddy Michael Jagger, and let's see how he is doing. And I believe, do we have a Michael Jagger there?
You have one. G'day. You all right?
How you doing, Michael?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you doing? Good morning.
Ah, good. Yes, because you're in Sydney, Australia right now.
The only one.
I'm good in New York City. It is just now 6 p.m. on Friday, and I am really looking forward to some movement, some gentle strengthening. I hope I can keep up with what you have planned, and then also some stretching afterwards, just because I need to cheer up my body.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I can promise you that I'm no Nick Williams, so I'm not going to do anything to destroy our bodies. I promise you that. But I do have, when you proposed this idea, I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. I tried to think of some exercises that I like to do that are kind of full body and just get the blood flowing. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some fun. I think it'll be great. And we're doing 3 exercises that I've chosen. And we've got a couple of variations as well for those of us that need to make those modifications.
I think I will also be providing some variations in terms of speed and gentleness.
That's right. We'll balance each other out because by the time we get to stretching, you know I'll be just a stiff mess.
Well, we shall see. We shall see. Do you have any advice or warnings or things that you want to tell people before we get started?
Yeah. What I think we'll do first is we'll do a little bit of a warm up as well with 3 movements that should kind of get the body a little bit more limber. The other thing I'll say is that these exercises don't require any sort of special equipment because I don't know about you, but I don't have a home gym, especially when I'm abroad. But what I do have is, I'll show you a couple of props here. First thing I do have my backpack. And my backpack is always heavy just because I always have tons of stuff in it. But I've also got some orange juice, a bottle of sparkling Shiraz, and an old milk jug that I filled up with water. So I'm going to use these basically to add weight to my backpack, like this. And so for a couple of the exercises, I'm going to use those to add some resistance for me. So if you've got something at home that you want to use as resistance, this is a nice little makeshift weight pack that you can create. So I'll be using that for a couple of them. But again, the exercises that we do don't require you to add weight, and you should still feel something.
That sounds great. That sounds cool. And if you're at home and you don't have any of those things, I'm definitely going to be demonstrating with nothing. So you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Cool. Well, we ready to get started?
Think so. Yeah, let's do it. All right. So I'm going to put the bag to the side because I don't need that yet. And the first thing I'm going to do is just take a squatted position so that you can all see how tight my hips are. And I'm going to have my arms on the insides of my knees like this. And then I'm going to take one arm and I'm just going to reach up to the sky. And I'm going to follow the hand with my eyes. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're really just, for me, this gets my groin kind of working, and that rotation also starts to create a little bit of warming up through the midsection. So we'll do a few of these. Don't forget to breathe. That's always the hardest part here. And maybe we'll do one more on each side. So take one arm up, follow the hand with the eyes. So you get that full rotation. All right, good. You good, Evita? Just to make sure, Evita, I can't tell, but I think I'm not straight-legged when I do this. I'm actually in a squatted position here. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Perfect. Cool. All right. And yeah, and again, I'm putting the arms on the insides of the thighs so that as I reach open with one arm, this arm is pushing that other knee out. So I get a little stretch through the inside of the thighs. Exactly. There you go. Perfect. Nice. All right. Second warm-up I'm going to do is just a single leg lunge. So I'm going to step forward with a foot like this, and then I'm going to rotate towards that knee that is in front. So if I step forward with the left foot, I'm going to rotate to the left just to get some twisting in there. For me, it also stretches the quad. So from that, twist towards the knee that's in front, twist back, come forward. Lunge out, twist towards the knee that's forward, and back. There you go. Exactly. So again, we're starting to get the legs warmed up. The glutes are working just a little bit on that lunge, and then the rotation just starts to get the trunk a little bit more supple, as it were. Good. And maybe we'll do 2 more times, so one leg each. Reach out, twist, come back, there, there, here. Evita, thumbs up or thumbs down? Are you starting to feel warm? Good. All right. One other exercise we're going to do for the upper body is it's what's called a scapular push-up. So the idea is I'm going to take a plank position, and I'm going to keep my arms straight as I drop my sternum down, and then I push away from the floor. So I'm really trying to get this upper back to the floor. You can do this on your knees, but again, the idea is that you're just moving through the shoulders while keeping the arms straight. So we're just going to do a couple of those just to warm up the upper back, shoulders through here. I always find this one's the most challenging because as I drop the sternum down, my arms want to bend, and I have to fight to keep those arms straight as I do this. Good. I'm already feeling a little bit warm. If you're just going to do a couple more of those, and I'm just going to come back and check in. How's everyone doing? Are we looking all right? Let's do one more set of those just to really make sure that we're properly warm before we go too hard with it. Yeah? All right. So coming back, again, one more time, we're going to take that squatted position like this. Again, I can't drop my hips too far down, but if you can, absolutely, the better the squat, the deeper the squat, the better. Arms are going to go to the insides of the knees here, like this. And as I reach up with one arm, I'm going to follow that with my eyes, and this lower arm is going to keep pushing this knee out. Exactly. So we get that twist, down, twist, down, good. Twist, here, twist, down, good. Twist, here. We'll do 2 more times. We got 1 and 2. Good. All right. Shake out your legs. Shake them out. Good. Let's do that lunge with a twist one more time, yeah? So we're going to do, let's say we do 8, so 4 each side. So we're going to step forward. 1, twist, back up. 2, twist, back up. 3, twist, back up. 4, twist. 5, twist. 6, 2 more. 7, twist. And finally, 8, twist. You all right, Evita? Good. All right, let's do just a few more scapular push-ups again to get the upper trunk warmed up for our exercises. Again, you can do this on your knees like this, or if you are stronger and want more challenge, you can go into a full plank. Make sure that you're not too high here with your hips. Want to be a nice flat plank here. We drop our sternum, or drop your chest down. Push up as far as you can. 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, 8. Good. All right. Whew. Real quick, I'm gonna come over, check in. I've got some water. Definitely take a minute, grab a sip of water before we get into this. If you've got a towel, maybe you want a towel off your face. Evita.
Just checking. Can you hear me again? Awesome. So I was turning off my mic while you were giving us explanation to not interfere. But I really appreciate it, Michael, when you noticed the difference in that first exercise. So sometimes from yoga exercises, you're right. I had my legs straight and I was kind of touching in the middle of the floor. So thank you so much, because when you told me about pressing my arms into my knees, that changed a lot of stuff in my hips and in the way that the quads and the hamstrings were sort of wrapping and pressing inwards. It was a totally different experience. So super cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, my disclaimer is that I'm not a certified personal trainer, nor do I have years of body knowledge experience. This is me passing along just movements that I've done in the gym as well. And the other important thing, I think, I remember Remy actually said this to me last year, because Remy's been really getting his sport on. A big stretch, deep stretching before physical activity is actually not the best way to prepare the body for dynamic movement. So certainly in the gym, when I work, we don't do a lot of stretching before we do our movements. We save that for afterwards as a part of our cool down. So in these warm-ups, I know usually I'll do about 3 sets at least of each rotation, and the warm-ups are usually designed to kind of mimic what's about to happen with the dynamic movement. And I know that first set of warm-up, I always just feel a little bit cold, and I got to fight to try to let me go deeper with this. Let me try to get a better stretch, because that's actually not the point. It's just to get the blood flowing. So I'm just saying that in case any of you out there are feeling like, man, I want more of a stretch. I do too. And we'll have time for that when we get to Evita, for sure. Yeah?
Absolutely. I agree. And I do feel warmer. I feel ready to do more stuff now.
Oh, yeah, I'm already sweating. All right, I'm going to take one more sip, and then what say we get into this, yeah?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to get some water too.
While Evita does that, I'm going to say that I'll tell you what the workout is. And it's just going to be 3 exercises today. Again, you can do this. We're going to try to do maybe at least 2 sets. If we feel fancy and free, we might go for a 3rd set. But certainly you can you can change the number of sets that you want to do. You can change the number of reps that you do. Really, whatever it is that you would like to have for your challenge, like to challenge yourself. You know your body better than what we can prescribe. But the basic framework is going to be something dynamic for the lower body, which is going to be a squat jump. So we'll do those squat jumps, which is just taking a squatted position and then jumping up as much as you can. There you go, Vita. Something like that. go for 15 of those. And then we're going to take what I'm calling a weighted overhead lunge. So it's very similar to the lunge that we did in our warm-up, but I'm going to use that backpack, and I'm going to hold the backpack over my head as I do the lunge. So, yeah, ask the
I have a
question,
question, Michael.
please.
When we're doing the lunge, is the back knee touching the ground or is it hovering above the ground?
Good question. That actually doesn't. I've asked the same question of the trainers in the gym, and they say it's not important to get the knee down. If you can do that in a controlled fashion, by all means, you can let the knee touch the ground, but that's not the most important thing. So the most important thing is your control and stability as you go into the lunge. Does that make sense? Is that all right? Yeah. So the second exercise will be a lunge with the weight over my head. And if you don't have that, again, just holding your arms up while you do that, should be enough of a challenge. And then we're going to do what's called a plank. Were you asking a question, or are you just stretching? And then lastly, we're going to do what's called a plank pull through. So we're going to hold that plank position, and we're going to pull something or slide something from one side to the other. So we're going to work on the upper body and the core. Sounds good? Cool. At this point, I would say if you're playing along with us, you can certainly put on some inspirational music. But we, for copyright reasons, will do this in the silence. So play along with us, but if you want to rock out at home, by all means. All right, let's get to this. First thing we're going to do is squat jumps. We're going to do 15. So from here, we're going to take a squat, and we're going to go jump, jump. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Good. All right.
Oh
From
man,
here
that's hard, Michael.
it is. I'm going to grab my weight pack here and hold it over my head. And we're going to do 8 each side. I'm going to start with my right foot. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Doing great. Halfway there. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're doing great. 14, 15, 16. All right. Plank position.
Right.
Again, I can use this. If you want, you can just use a bottle of water. You can use a sheet of paper if you want to slide that across. But here's what's going to happen. You're going to take the plank position, feet wide apart, hands probably a little closer together. You're going to reach across and slide this over. I'm actually going to move the mat so that I can slide. So from here, again, you reach across and you slide. Again, if that's too hard or too heavy, Evita's going to be doing the variation where she holds the plank and just alternates by touching the opposite shoulder with a hand. When we do this exercise, one of the most important things is to try to keep the hips stable. So you don't want too much rotation in the hips. I'll show you what I mean. From here, as you reach across, you don't want to have a lot of movement up here. You want to keep this as stable as possible. Same thing with the shoulder taps. As you reach up for the tap, you don't want to see a lot of rotation through the upper body. Yes? Nice.
One more thing I want to add to this is that even if the shoulder taps is too much, you can also do this if you can also just hold plank position, like that would be amazing. Or you could also just try to pick up one hand and pick up the other hand. I mean, any semblance or any little back and forth that you can do in the body where you're working to hold plank, that's awesome. And then any semblance of changing the strength, that's great. That's what I'm going to be working on.
Great. Good advice. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. I'm going to go on my pull throughs. I'm going to go for 10 each side.
Whew, you're crazy. You're crazy. All right.
Here we go. Thanks. You too. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice.
Whoa, that was a lot. And I wasn't even doing it that hard. You know what I did is I took a much wider stance with my toes. I really, when I was in the plank position, I just really got much wider with my toes, and that helped me to stabilize my hips.
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, I've actually never done those before, Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm kind of like, I'm happy with plank. Plank's like
Yep.
that, solid, hold still, just hold it and breathe. I can do that. But the movement aspect is super hard.
Yeah. I think when I first started going to this gym, they had these little fancy discs that kind of slide across the floor, and so that was the first. Well, because all of us could hold a plank, that was the first kind of variation. Was just about the stability of removing a hand and sliding it across, and then they started adding layers of difficulty where you would get a weighted, like a dumbbell, for example, and you'd do that dumbbell pull, what they call pull through. So you just pull something weighted across. So yeah, it's like you said, which is great. It's incremental challenges to build up to that point, and I'm kind of doing, well, for me, one of the most advanced versions I know. I'm sure there's a lot of crazy versions of plank out
Yeah,
there, but yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I can
And
also right now, just reporting, I can also feel my arms are warm, they're hot. Like I can feel work and blood flow and muscles happening in here. And then just by the cross or just by picking up one hand versus the other, I kind of start to feel I guess my intercostal muscles and everything around the midline that has to grab in to hold myself up. And then the stability of the pelvis, that is such a big deal. Because I know when we're dancing Lindy Hop with all the swivels and all the twisty action that we do, sometimes there's so much mobility and motion happening there that actually, at least for me, I have to work on trying to bring that back in and protect myself from twisting too hard or too much. Because then
I,
you hurt yourself by going too far that way.
yeah.
All right, what's the next torture device?
Well, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to do at least another round of that torture device, and I'm giving everyone a chance to breathe just a little bit as well. Even though I'm like, let's do it again. I want to tell you, Evita, the reason that I chose these exercises was because they kind of flow from a lower body with the squat jump to legs and arms by doing the lunge, holding overhead, and then kind of an upper body and core focused idea with those planks. I wanted to do something dynamic for the legs because I definitely know now that we're not social dancing or rehearsing as much. The legs are getting more, they feel weaker, And unless you're in a 5-story walk-up where you get to do stairs every day, then just the leg activity alone is kind of, it's faltering for me. And I mean, I'm in isolation, as I know you are as well. So yeah, just trying to get the legs to do something since I don't have that social dance or rehearsal exercise. Yeah. Are there any questions? I'm not really able to see if there's any questions, or how are people doing?
Let's take a look. Hello, ciao. Nice twist, Michael. Yeah. Claudia Siepen, hello. She says, are you only moving your shoulders during the push-ups, or are you changing the shape of your spine as well?
Hmm.
Okay, so I guess is it like a stability within the shoulders and the rib cage, and this is all completely still, and this is the only motion, or is there a little bit of spinal twist? Do you let some of that happen?
That's a great question. I'm not for those scapular push-ups and the warm-up. That's actually an exercise that was given to me by a physiotherapist to kind of address some shoulder weakness, because I have an injury from snowboarding a few months ago that I'm still battling with, and so trying to get the back muscles to, especially kind of the rhomboids, to get more activated and take over from the traps, because my trapezius are doing a lot of work to try to protect the shoulder. Um, what I'm trying to do, see if I can show this on a profile, is really just about retracting the shoulder blades and then pushing the shoulder blades forward. So what I don't have is I don't have a lot
I
of articulation
misunderstood.
of the spine.
Yes, but also, Michael, the exercise with the plank where we are moving the object
Ah,
across. Do you
that is,
also do you twist there?
uh, no, I try to stay as tight and as stable as possible. So I'm not dropping, and I mean, you'll feel it if you drop a shoulder as you reach. You'll feel how much the supporting arm will struggle with that. So as much as you can, um, just really focus on the strength of the supporting arm as you reach through versus
Right.
dropping.
That would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense to me. I mean, yeah, because if the spine rotates too much, the brunt of the work is being put on just that back shoulder joint or the opening there. Yeah. That's cool. Also, big shout out, hey, to Ben Vo. Thank you so much. He's in the chat watching, and at first he's like, "Oh, I'll do this later," but I think you're doing it with us. So, go Benny! Thank you so much for being there with us. Okay, Michael. So, does this mean we're gonna go around a second
Yep.
time?
Squat jumps, again, you're squatting. It's a dynamic jump. I push the hands through. So squat, push the hands through as you get that jump in. Yeah. 15 sounds good. Peter, you want to do 20? 15. Great. Let's get into it. Here we go.
15.
Yes, you can. Squat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's great. Pizza style. Good. Now, Vita, you were adding a layer of
I think I
challenge
only
by.
did 8.
Okay. That's
That's
good.
okay.
All right. If you've got something weighted, grab it overhead. So here we go. 8 each side. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Halfway there. 8, 7. You're ready. Good.
That's really hard. Oh my God, are we done yet?
One more exercise.
I feel so weak. I feel
You're
so, no, no, no. I feel the leggies feel super, super duper weaky. Like all this feels weak. You know, the jumpy things, when we were training aerials more often, I can really, I feel that spring and that push, the action of up and land is a lot more familiar to me. But these things, man, these are horrible. And then I'm having a really hard time getting back. Ooh, like, is it all the front leg that just pushes me there?
Um, no, for me, like the back leg also does some work as well. The back quad, I think. So if you step forward with your right foot, yeah, I'm still pushing that left toe in. I push it in as you push back. Yeah. And sometimes if
I
that's
feel like I got nothing.
sometimes I don't.
Maybe I'm going too far. Maybe I should take a smaller step so I work up to it.
That's what I was going to say. Yes. And
Because,
again, on that.
again, I think this is a really interesting thing with flexibility. And like, let's say I'm doing a yoga pose. I feel super duper duper cool with, let's say, getting all the way to here and then straightening that back leg and holding this. But something about a stagnant, frozen position is so different from a dynamic position that has to be going down and up and forwards and back. This is just feels like a lot of different muscles working. Anyways, that'll be good for me to,
Work on. Good
yeah.
talk. Plank position.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
using
Right, too much talking.
again wide stance with the legs. You got your object. You reach across. Pull. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you just need to hold it, you can just hold this. 9, 10. We're halfway there. 10, 9, 8, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1, and run. Good.
Oh my God, okay. We did it? Did we do it?
Did.
Is it done?
For the moment, yes.
Oh man. Oh, I'm glad that Claudia asked that question because in doing that, it made me the second time around, it made me think about stabilizing my spine as much as possible and really quieting the movement. So thanks, Claudia. That was helpful for me.
And again, in the in the gym, my trainers will say, by that third set, because usually we do at least 3 sets, sometimes 4, depending on the exercise. For something like this, the variations that Evita that you gave are actually really good because if you can't do the pull throughs on that third set because you're too tired, then still holding the plank is going to be better than nothing. So you're still getting a workout for it. Yeah, it's good. Cool.
Let's see, any more comments? Benny says, Evita, just breathe through your movements. Use your legs and also your core. I have a core? What? And then Benny says, try activating your core while you do your lunge. Yeah, it helps a little. That was great. Let's do more. Let's do one more set, Benny. Oh, snap. Okay, this time I'm not going to be funny and I'm going to really, like, for real. And I'm going to think about my belly button and I'm going to breathe.
I think
Sounds
that's
good?
it's a great idea. All right, you ready?
I don't know, but I'm going to try. I can
Here's
do
another.
this.
I'm
I
gonna
can
take
do
a piece of for for the planks, I'm going to take a piece of mail and just slide that from each side. So again, here's a third variation without weights, without an object that's heavy. We'll just do the slide for that third set. All right.
Also, I may not do as many numbers as what you do, Michael, but I'm going to do what I do really well.
I think it's a fabulous idea.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Just a quick vita.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right or
Talk to me.
wrong, but I think it's harder when you stabilize the arms like this.
Oh,
I think that's actually hard. Oh, yeah. I use the arms to push the hips forward. That helps for balance.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm somewhere stuck between ballet, like holding the arms in a position and jumping like in a fixed shape. But you're saying with this, use the arms to swing, right? Okay.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Cool. All right. Almost there. And then we're going to do some stretching.
Right. Ready. Lunge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Halfway there, Betty. Come on with me. There's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, that was better.
Yeah.
Breathing. Whoa, it works. All right. Plank.
All right. Last time the planks.
Last time to planky wanky. Okay.
I have my sheet paper.
We got this.
Got this. Ready. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, and good.
Oh my God. All right, we did it. I think we did
it.
Wow. Oh, it feels good to be tired. Okay, everybody. Because we're running tight on time, I want to jump into some stretches to work with the heat and the warmth that we feel right now. Is that okay, Michael?
Please, yes.
You ready? All right, cool. So actually, you don't have to, but I'm going to take off my shoes and my socks because I want to feel the floor. Okay, so stand with your feet just comfortably under your hips. Bend your knees a little bit. And you're going to take a deep breath in as you raise your arms up. Inhale. And then exhale and drop your arms down. And do that one more time. Inhale. Maybe look up. And then exhale and curve your head looking down. Good. You're going to step with your left foot in front of you, and your right arm is going to scoop sand or water or rice up in front of you. You're going to look up, shrug the shoulder, and then let the arm fall with the palm facing down as it goes back behind you. And we're going to do 4 more circles like this. So up, shrug, turn the palm face down and drop it down. And coordinate the breath. You can inhale here and exhale. And 1 more. Inhale here and exhale. And you might notice that I'm rocking forwards and back on my feet as I do this. Good, let's go the other direction. So you can just flip around and your right foot now should be in front. Your left arm is gonna scoop water, sand, rice, whatever. Squeeze, look up at the ceiling, and then turn the palm face down. Let it drop behind you. Inhale as it comes up, and exhale as it goes back. I rock onto the front of the foot, the right foot, and then I rock back to the left foot. Again, inhale, and exhale. Once again, turn with your left foot in front, but now everybody, we're gonna start going backwards. So your right hand, look behind you, and it's as though you're saying, hey, come over here, come with me, come with me. Shrug at the top, and then the palm is face down as it floats down in front of you. You can bend your knees and have fluidity as you rock backwards, inhale, and forwards, exhale. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. Last one, inhale, and exhale, and you guessed it, let's do it on the other side. Right foot is forward. So look behind you with your left arm. You're gonna beckon somebody, come this way with me. And it floats down in front of you. Back, come with me. Floats down in front of you. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhale. And exhale, good. Take your arms out to a T. Yeah. Oops, there we go. Your arms are in a T. Take your right arm up above your head and swing the other arm down by your waist. Bend your knees and you get a little bit of a twist. Come back through to a T and then reverse. So now the other arm you twist almost like you're looking at your armpit. Come back to a T. So one arm goes over your head, the other one wraps the waist, and then gently flow through this like big spacious arm movements. 2 more. So this is 1 and last one, 2. Good. Shoulders, roll them up and down and back behind you. And can you clasp your hands kind of low down by your butt or lower? See if by clasping your hands you can gently pull and lengthen down so that your scapulas pull together, your shoulders are dropped down, and you have space in your neck. You can even shake your head a little bit. Yes, no, maybe, something. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Bend your knees for me. Take a little bit wider of a stance so that your feet are underneath your hips. Bend your knees, and you're gonna bend forward really slowly and gently. You don't have to go very far, just go what's comfortable for you. And then you're gonna lift up your arms to whatever is comfortable, and you should feel this opening up across the front of the pecs and the shoulders. And if you can drop a little further, go for it, but keep your knees bent a lot. And then let go of your fingers and let your arms slowly fall down to the ground. Can you shake your head yes? Can you shake your head no? And can you let the back of your neck get really long and heavy? Keeping your knees bent, let's slowly roll up for an 8 count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The head is last. 8. Good. And then we're going to go all the way back down to the floor. 1, 2, starting with your head. You're like a candle that's wax melting. Drop back down to the floor. Bend your knees a lot. Put your hands on the floor and let's go to a tabletop position. So you're on your knees and your hands, tabletop. We've been here before, yeah? Now, this is not exactly a plank. This is more to stretch the back of the Achilles and the calf. So take your right foot and extend that leg out, straighten it. And you're on the toes, the right ball of the foot toes. And can you rock the foot a little bit back and forward so that you're sort of massaging the plantar, well, the fascia that's underneath your foot, your heel, the Achilles tendon, and the calf muscles. And meanwhile, you are holding like a plank position up above. Bring your right knee back underneath your right hip, and let's do that with the other side. The left, straighten that foot. Find the balls of the toes and rock gently back and forward, back and forward. Good. And then if it's possible, let's give ourselves just a quick moment of plank, but it's only so that you can slow motion drop yourself down all the way to your belly. And you can rest here. I like to put my fists and make a little pillow, and also I'm doing that so I don't crush my microphone on my chest here. Okay, now bring your elbows closer to your ribs, and can we come up a little bit onto our forearms? Yeah, so we're getting just a little bit of a stretch in the tummy and maybe in your hip flexors. Bend your left knee. So you've got that left foot up in the air. Your right hand, can you bring that so that it's parallel to your ribs? And it's going to act as a little support for you while your left hand reaches back and it tries to reach for your toes. Now, if you can reach your toes, that's great. If not, don't worry about it. But what I'm trying to do here is stretch the front quad muscles. So I'm going to squeeze my hamstring, squeeze my heel to my butt, and see if I can get a stretch in the front quads, which we were using to land and jump. And then I can let go. I'm going to float that foot back down, and let's switch sides. So my left arm is going to come in front of me parallel to my ribs. I'm going to bend my right knee. I'm going to look over my right shoulder, reach for the right foot. And if it's possible, we're going to squeeze that hamstring. So you're squeezing the heel to your butt, and we're trying to get a stretch in that front quadricep or the front quads. And then let's let that foot float back down to the ground. From here, can we roll over and let's get to a sitting position. Oh, look at that. I've got all my sock fuzz everywhere. Okay, bring your legs out just in front of you. Take your arms, or take your hands, clasp them, and let's just reach up tall. Try to get out of your waist, get out of your hips, and put some length in your spine. And you're going to reach forwards and in front of you. So we're not going for the toes yet. We're just kind of reaching out into space. Now, if you need to bend your knees, that's totally okay. You can start with them bent, and then after you take about 4 or 5 breaths, they'll start to believe you that we're stretching. Now, we're going to drop the hands to the knees. And depending on how flexible you feel, you can melt your hands down your shins. This might encourage you to straighten the knees a little bit more, and you can get a little bit more distance as you reach towards your feet. And whatever is comfortable for you, you can feel the stretch. Just keep breathing. And then, can we take our right hand and can you reach on a diagonal over to your left toes? You don't have to touch them. I just need the right arm to think about stretching diagonally across. So you could be at your shin or you could be at your knee. And you do get a little bit of a twist in the spine, but you're trying to keep your hips square. And then let's come back. Take your left hand and reaching on the diagonal across. Maybe you touch your toes. Maybe it's just at the shin, whatever. And you get that little bit of a twist there. And try to remember to keep breathing. Good, and then a variation on this. Bend your left knee and hug the left knee towards you. With your right arm, can you give that knee a hug? Can you look over your left shoulder? And to stabilize, you can put your left hand behind you to prop yourself up and give your spine some distance. And you're going to twist. And you're going to keep breathing as you do this. I like to think about squeezing my core, squeezing my insides out like a sponge so that I get all the bad stuff out, kind of like a fresh, new, clean sponge. Let's straighten that left knee. Bring your right knee up to you. With your left arm, hug around that right knee. You're going to look over your right shoulder. You can use your right arm as a little kickstand prop. And the important thing here is that you keep breathing and you keep trying to give your spine space. And every exhale that you take, you're squeezing out the bad stuff, like cleaning out that sponge. Nice, and then come back. Okay, everybody, and then I think the last thing I want to do is let's have you lay flat on your back. Just super duper flat. Oh my gosh, and already that feels so good. Take a deep breath in here. And let's just exhale for a second. And let the back, the butt, the legs kind of just chill out. Okay, but we're not done yet. You're going to bring your right knee, squeeze the right knee up to your chest and give it a hug. Now, while you do this, can you flex your left foot and imagine that you're standing on the floor, so you've got a really strong push going through your left leg while you're squeezing your right knee to your chest. Wonderful. Float that right leg straight and let's switch. Bring up your left knee. Hug that to your chest. And again, activate your right foot. Flex it and pretend like you're standing on the floor so you've got straight, long, powerful energy going through the right leg while your left knee is squishing towards your chest. Good, and we're gonna do this one more time. So switch back, straighten the left knee, bring the right knee up. Find that squeeze, find that length, and then gently with your left arm, you're gonna guide your right knee across your body for a twist. Look to your right and let your right arm rest on the floor. You can go whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to bend the bottom leg, you can. If you want to take this knee a little higher, you can. But whatever feels good in your lower back. And be sure that you take a deep, calming breath here. And exhale. And then bring your right knee back up, guide it to your heart. And let that leg go long. Bring the left knee, squeeze it to your chest. Find the activity happening in the right leg as you straighten. And the right arm is going to guide the left knee across the body. You're going to look to your left. Oh, this is my good side. The side that loves it. And be sure you breathe, because the breath is the thing that reminds the muscles they're okay. And guide the knee back up to your heart. Good. And then float that leg back down. And while we're laying here, let's just take 3 breaths together to just let the body realize what happened. So breathe in and exhale. And breathe in second time. And exhale. And the last time together, but I hope it's not the last time you breathe, it's breathe in. And exhale. Wow. We did stuff. All right, so I didn't really get to watch you much, Michael, but how's your flexibility going?
Man, I was touching toes left and right.
Oh, so
Yeah,
nice.
it's really great.
I I feel warm. I got my sweat on. I didn't hurt myself, but I definitely used some new muscles, and I have not been this tired I don't in 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah, that was really nice, especially the stretching part. I don't stretch enough. You know that. That was really lovely.
I
Thank you.
gotta say, first of all, if y'all are still with us out there watching, thank you for tuning in. We really wanted to try to keep this in a nice packaged 1 hour, not go longer. Um, but if you like this kind of body maintenance work, we would really love to invite you and encourage you to check out our website, syncopatedcity.com. The incredible Macy Sullivan, a dear friend of ours, and an incredible dancer, trained at Juilliard, modern dancer, ballet dancer, tap dancer. We actually asked her to do a master class for us in body maintenance. And she's got a whole series of which I still have yet to survive because it's pretty full on. And she also has really fantastic exercises specific to before you go dancing and after you go dancing. And there's even a partnered section one in case you have a buddy at home to stretch with.
Yeah, yeah, I've tried it. I remember when it first came out, I was like, yeah, I'll do it, and it kicked my butt. It's humbling for sure.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I think that's another really cool thing is to be humbled and to constantly be reminded that I mean, like, I know Benny was with us watching, and those of you who don't know, Benny is a master of healing, movement, body strength. He has helped me numerous times, and I know he has helped many people in our community. And if you ever have the chance to work with Benny in person, don't miss it because it's great. But what I wanted to say is that it's humbling and it's comforting to know that we're not alone, that we're in this together, and and it's important to just remember that we're all here together doing this, working on this, growing, keeping healthy, staying strong.
yeah, yeah. Especially for those of you who are working from home at a desk in front of a computer. Even now more than ever, if you're not getting up to go to the garage into your car and walk to the office, if you're not in New York City where you are taking the train and taking stairs, like it's really even more important to do something just to keep the blood flowing and to keep yourself somewhat active. Because it's really easy. I mean, even for us as movers, like when you're isolated to being in your apartment or in your home, it's so easy to get stagnant. I mean, that's what I'm finding for myself. So I imagine others are struggling with that
Oh,
too.
absolutely. In fact, doing this little workout session with you, Michael, because truly I haven't done anything like this in 3 weeks, I was surprised by how weak I felt. Those of you watching, would anybody be interested if we did some more of these live streams? And selfishly, I'm thinking that, Michael, if you and I like planned this, I would get stronger because I would be, I would have to show up for you. But it'd be really cool to know if anybody's out there watching, would this be of interest to you again, any stuff like this? Um, so we appreciate, I think Claudia was with us the whole time. Claudia, thank you. It's amazing to see you
Yeah.
again. Benny is saying, yes, 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 yes. Benny is all about anything healthy and good for the body. Absolutely. Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for being with us and joining us. Michael, thank you for waking up early in Sydney, Australia. And and sorry, I was like, I don't understand what that means. Are there any questions before we sign off? Was did anybody want to ask anything specific or have any questions in general, anything for us. And I'm just checking in. We are hearing thank you so much from Quebec.
Hey, Quebec.
Uh, can y'all hear the clapping and applause that's happening outside our window right now?
7 o'clock. The city applauds.
Oh, 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock every night here in New York City, and I think it's a different time everywhere else. We applaud all of the doctors, the nurses, the healthcare professionals, the people at the front line who are saving people's lives and risking their own for us. So that's perfect timing. It is exactly 7:01 right now. So what a great opportunity. Here we are staying healthy and staying strong and applauding for everyone. Oh, that's really emotional. That's really emotional. We're in this together, everybody. And we're going to be okay. And we're going to take care of each other. All right. Love you guys so much. I love you, Michael.
Love you
And
too. You and
thanks everybody for tuning in.
thanks for being here. We'll see you soon.